All right, so we talked about the crazy batshit story of my ex-girlfriend having a used condom on her bed that wasn't mine, lying to me about being pregnant, keying my car up one side, down the other, and then never hearing from her again. So that's a pretty wild story. The lesson I learned in that is that I spent so much of my time living for the approval of others, and that relationship was the physical manifestation of exactly that. I was just living for approval. I was doing whatever I could to get that approval, and I was running to the sources that gave me that approval, which was not where I needed to be and not what I needed to be doing. Now, the advice that I would give myself if I could go back, that I would give my daughter when she's older, and that I would give anybody else that's listening is go live your life. Not go live your life, but go live your life. And each of us has a specific life that we are supposed to live, destined to live. And my recommendation is go live that life and do what you want to do for the right reasons and go be the person that you're supposed to be. And I think every one of us has had that moment where we've looked in the mirror at one point or another in our adult lives, and we've had to ask ourselves something along the lines of, are we really living the life that we're supposed to live? Are we being the version of ourselves that we're supposed to be? And we all have ebbs and flows, and we go through ups and downs, and I'm not saying anything about that, but we know at the end of the day where we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to be living. And when you find yourself where your life is consumed by the types of things that are external and are full of emotion and full of ego and full of desire and full of all of those things, as opposed to living the life that you're supposed to live, you're going to see a real struggle and a real imbalance. And I spent so much of my 20s, trying to meet women and trying to be cool and do things and whatever, instead of just doing what I wanted to do, which was go to the gym, watch movies, enjoy eating really good food and hanging out with friends. But I was so worried on trying to capture all of that. I spent so much time doing things for those reasons, to try to get the response, to try to meet the woman, to try to get the accolades, to get the approval, whatever, that everything I was doing was just bass backwards. And my advice to myself, if I could go back then, would be just get rid of all that shit. Do not worry about all that and just go forward living the life you're supposed to live. Because when you do that, all of that stuff will be returned to you in spades. When you're focused on going forward in your life, all of that will come back to you when the time is right. And if I would have spent my 20s educating myself, investing my money, looking forward to the future, I would not have had to worry about whether or not I was cool because I was driving a car I couldn't afford. I could have had 5 cars without even thinking about it. And it wouldn't have meant anything to me now because I would have had the right perspective. So my advice to myself, to my daughter when she's older, to anybody else who's listening, is stop living and doing things for the approval of others and go live your life that you're supposed to live.